storms. Look like, when they spray those cross hatchings in the sky and it looks like the clouds. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the way it appears. Oh, that was great. I don't know if I paused it or not. That's that purple Salvia greggii. And that blue-green one is the borage. Yeah. There's the storm there. It's coming. And see, there's the wind starting to come out. And Gerber's starting to come out. It's the Boudelon hibiscus. The yellow Garvinia, hybrid Gerber daisy. Some more, there's some pink dianthus. You got your Lysimachia, creeping Jenny. And some more Garvinia starting to come out really good. Larvine. Carnations. Apricot carnations. It's an English primrose. More carnations. Salvia coming along there. Anyway, storm's coming. And you can kind of see the cloud formations where about 30 minutes ago those straight line ones, they're all in a row, were contrails, and now they're growing into clouds and rain clouds. And so I mean, if you're looking at it and you can see it and it's happening and you get it on film, how is that a conspiracy? You know? I mean, can you see what I'm talking about? You get the evidence, a contrail will come out of a plane and disappear. But weather manipulation, it exists. I mean, according to the Weather Channel, it exists. I don't know. Jury's out. I mean, what looked like there was not a cloud in the sky a minute ago, or rather 30 minutes ago. And now, there is. But, I might not be informed. And my observations, I'm not sure. What I am sure about is it feels really nice out here right now. This is that cold front coming in. The ironic thing is I brought all my houseplants out. And it's supposed to be 37 degrees tonight. Although that's close to 40. Could always just water them and cover them. You could always just bring them back in, although it's clean now. But, that's life. You always have to clean. A little glass ladybug there. And then you got the solar-powered outdoor art lights, known as Viz Glass. We've got an amarilla coming on, and these are supposed to be the tropical varieties, but the funny thing is, because I've left them outside in the winter, they set buds and they bloom better, and you don't have to refrigerate them. So I think they're hardier than people realize. Another Sansevieria with the vertical variegation in it. They're native to Africa and India. They're also known as Indian hemp because when the leaves dry, they have a hard texture to them, and when you strip the leaves, you can make cordage out of it to make baskets and things. Some more Sansevieria. And then you got my little flying pig and Boston fern. Or rather, that's I can't remember the fern's name for some reason. But yeah, this isn't a fern. This is another begonia. Might be a Rex. I don't remember. I think that's a hint. I better get back inside. It's coming. That storm's coming. Well, I was going to do some gardening at my mom's. And according to radar, it looked like the storm wasn't going to last very long. And being that I'm a human lightning rod, I might reconsider being in the line of fire here. Still work that needs to be done out here. Lindenium. That was a tiny plant. It was a tiny plant 6 years ago. They kind of bonsai themselves. The big bulbous thing at the bottom is known as a caudex, or this is a caudiciform. They are similar to camels holding their moisture. Of course, camels hold the fat reserves, not actually water in that hump. Some more carnations. The red ones. And an owl. Not real, but I think you can tell. Some spearmint. Some oregano. You know, oregano supposedly has antiviral properties to it. The blue-green ones are poppies, the somnifera variety. And Pavonia. You got your Calibracoa coming back. And the frilly ones down there might be Queen Anne's latest. I'm not absolutely certain though. I do recall planting some. Got some glads starting to poke out. Yeah, peonies starting to put on buds. I can't remember the name of the peony. It was an actress from the 20s that's featured in, well, it was also before the 20s, featured in a lot of Art Nouveau art. Her name is like on the tip of my brain, but it's just not coming out. Wood violets there. I dug those up out of the grass at Plano location when I worked there. It's that nectarine I planted from a seed. Here's a hackberry tree that a bird planted. And behind that, mimosa. And I procured that from my mother's yard. Another common weed, that's dandelions. They're supposedly edible, and they supposedly have some beneficial medicinal qualities. You've also got your nitrogen fixing true clover. That's clover. The one that's commonly sold as clover is actually oxalis, and is actually a bulb. The bulb has an oxalis has compartments that when you pull them, it's like a hand grenade and it spreads the bulb. So you either have to use herbicides or dig them out manually. I try to stay away from using herbicides. I might use 20% vinegar with orange oil as a surfactant. And surfactant's a type of soap that makes chemicals stick to the surface of foliage, thus speeding up the desiccation and eventual death of the weeds. A lot of people don't like moss, but moss is, you can keep it weeded. It's a high maintenance lawn actually. But moss grows great in shade when it's cool. When it gets warmer, it goes dormant. You don't see it. I like moss. I like using it in bonsai gardens. I like using it in terrariums. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of childhood. I just like the pretty green color of it. It also, moss will will grow on soils that have lots of minerals, and they will, and rocks, and they will slowly over time break the rocks down into soil. They also work as a pretty good mulch when they're growing. They keep some weeds out, although you can see weeds are growing in here. But that has more to do with no one has removed them. It's coming. I think it's going to be short-lived. I could be wrong though. Here's a holly tree I brought. I got it from the birds. The blue-gray foliage there is that Palace Castle Artemisia. Then you have your knockout roses. And I have it still in a pot because up here in North Texas, the rosette virus is pretty prolific. And at present, I believe there is no cure for it. It's the vector for the rosette is a mite that lives in the soil, and when that vector chews on the roots or the rows, if it has previously eaten off of another rose with the virus, that's how the virus is spread. Proper soil preparation and pre-treating with streptomyces. That's a biological fungal control, and it's also an insect control. It also the streptomyces will have several varieties of microbes in there that are good for your soil flora. Good soil has plenty of microbes and micronutrients. Soil that you use chemical fertilizer on, because those are salts, over time it depletes the soil because it basically burns it up. That's why I use organic methods. I use like compost, good topsoil, good rich topsoil. There's a company in Arizona I've looked up called Arbico. There's a lot of organic solutions there. Everybody doesn't like that word organic. I mean, not everybody doesn't like it. What everybody has to remember is that before World War II, chemical fertilizer wasn't readily available. Before World War II, everybody did everything organically. And chemicals were supposed to improve life. Well, they do. They improve life. They will speed things up. They can make things more chemical. There's a slip. They can make things appear healthy. You just have to have a balance. I mean, I'm not totally opposed to using stuff. It's just if your soil health is proper and your maintenance techniques are proper, and you monitor your plants, you shouldn't really have to use too many chemicals. You know, people gripe about it being not safe for the environment. Well, the chemicals aren't necessarily safe for you. You should take precautions like wearing the gloves and a mask and cover your skin, and you know, taking a shower after you use chemicals. You know, wear goggles, especially if it's windy, so that you don't, you know, get the chemicals in your eyes. You should always read the label thoroughly, because it is, you know, basically it's your responsibility as a consumer to look at the information on chemicals and use them properly. Otherwise, if you use too much, it can be detrimental to your garden. It can also be detrimental to your health. And that's how things get banned. Durasban and diazinon used to be chemicals on the market that did great jobs for people's lawns. The problem is that here in Texas, people were putting it out on their lawns, watering it in, and then letting their kids go out and play on it barefoot. And kids don't have, you know, tough. The bottom of their feet aren't tough, so they were starting to absorb the chemicals into their systems, and it was starting to show up in doctors' exams. So you know, use some common sense. If you're putting a chemical down and you're protecting yourself and you're reading the directions, you know, stay off of it until the amount of time has elapsed, or you know, be like me, just don't use them, and use better techniques to keep your plants healthy, and it's actually better for you. And I'm not totally against all of that. I mean, anyway, anyway. Now I'm stuttering. I guess I gotta stop. All right. Everybody have a great day. Check you later. That's where a script would come in handy. I'm learning. We'll get it eventually. Everybody have a wonderful day and have a happy Easter.